What a move this is for Malik Tillman, who is officially on his way to Leverkusen from PSV on a $38.1 million transfer. And here he comes, Bundesliga. But where does that number put him on the list of all-time transfers for USMNT players? Well, he's just behind Christian Pulisic, who I don't know if we're going to see a player catch him anytime soon. 47 million, was the transfer fee there. So let's see.
Malik Tillman's really good, man. I'm excited to see him continue to evolve because there's a lot of potential.
How do you think his game translates from the Eredivisie to the Bundesliga? Because that's my, biggest question ahead of all this.
It's also a big move.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of cash money.
Yeah, you're going to a place where, yes, I know, the fact that they won the league and they're going to start a new project under Ten Hag, which I think is a good thing because you're not going into a team that's already built. He could be one of the guys that they start to build with, but it's a different level, I think, right now. We're talking about trying to take down the Bayern Munichs, playing in Champions League, which is obviously a positive for us. But when you see how well-rounded he is, and then when you hear how Pochettino talked about him, saying as an 8, as a 6, out wide, wherever you play him, he is one of the most talented American, excuse me, I wish he was Italian. I'm so used to saying Italian-American. He's one of the most talented American players. It just goes to show you where his level could be. And putting this pressure on his back ahead of a World Cup year, I don't think is a bad thing.
I think it's unfair to say that he's going to replace Florian.
We're all
It's
struggling
been really
today.
hard for us today.
Okay, let's start again.
Get the mate.
I think it's unfair to say that he's going to replace Florian Wirtz because I don't think anybody replaces Florian Wirtz. He's just that
Position-wise,
good,
I think.
right? Yeah. It's position-wise, but it's almost like, sure, you can plug into that position, but you're not going to get the same functionality, the same goal contribution as Florian Wirtz. It's going to have to be more of a team effort, and that's going to fall on Ten Hag. That's going to be a big responsibility. But regardless of that, there's still a certain expectation on this guy to deliver, right? He can't just go in there and be a flop. But I'm thinking of great playmakers that have come out of Bayer Leverkusen, like even like a Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz struck an incredible partnership with Julian Brandt. That Bravertz era was great because it was Kai Havertz kind of playing like this false 9 role, scoring a lot of goals. But also Julian Brandt had a really good understanding. So whoever it is that Malik Tillman finds that connection with, he's going to have to find it and really make it strong because Malik Tillman is good, but he can't do it by himself is what I'm trying to say.
No, and I don't think he has to do it by himself. This is going to be a massive overhaul for Bayer Leverkusen. Right now, as we speak, there's rumors that Granit Xhaka may not be there next season. He may go to Saudi, he may go to Fenerbahce, or Sunderland is literally, I remember seeing that yesterday leaving the studio. Wow. That is a massive hole to fill. I want to go back to a game in the Champions League that I saw where PSV, they eked out a 1-1 draw against PSG. I have to say it with emphasis or else I'll mess it up. Now, in that game, he played as a deep-lying playmaker. I was shocked when I saw the composure that he had, when I saw his ability to read the game. He's not going to be a direct Granit Xhaka replacement. But when you play for a manager like Erik ten Hag, you have to be versatile. You have to be able to do multiple things at the same time. And he has the tools in his tool belt to step up. The expectations for Leverkusen, there is going to be a longer leash for Ten Hag. And under Xabi Alonso,
you think so?
Absolutely. You don't get
How
a manager.
long of a leash?
I would say a couple years, 2 years.
Then who? Longer leash than what?
We're saying compared to someone like a Xabi Alonso for Ten Hag? Is that your question?
Yeah, I was just curious how long you think he has.
This is a longer-term project when you bring in someone like Erik ten Hag because this is going to be a massive rebuilding year. This is not the same Leverkusen side. And the two players...
But you have to be good. You
can't
be
I'm not saying they're going to be in the relegation zone,
right?
But the expectation,
the expectation
isn't to win the Bundesliga and travel the Bundesliga.
Make top 4, right?
Top 4 is it.
Top 4,
and
top 5.
And Malik Tillman will be a big part of that. And I want to get to this. The team and the focus of the team is no longer around, you don't have a Florian Wirtz, you don't have some of the players that we see here. The team is now, Simone Rolfes came out and said, if anything he's going to be critical of, he's thanked Xabi Alonso for his time, and Leverkusen fans say the same thing, that Xabi Alonso was reluctant to play with the front 2, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 incredible strikers in Victor Boniface and Patrick Schick, who should be on this graphic right now. And Malik Tillman will benefit playing for those.
He's on the wing.
He's on the wing. Okay,
Yeah.
I put Patrick Schick in the middle there, and you could see it becoming a 4-2-2, or you could see Malik Tillman playing out wide or anywhere in the midfield.
Yeah, listen, just to go back to your point about playing in the center midfield position, like in a deeper lying Granit Xhaka role, I think Bayer Leverkusen foresaw that Granit Xhaka wasn't going to stay forever, and they have depth in that position with first Ezequiel Palacios, and then Alex Garcia, which they went out to go get. And Xabi Alonso was really adamant about kind of making him that balance to the team. And then you got your enforcer like Robert Andrich next to whoever plays in that position. So I think it would be a waste to play Tillman so deep, because offensively he just gives you so much. And I do think he can slot in and be versatile in the front, in any of those positions in the front three, less so in the striker position, because you got the likes of Patrick Schick and Boniface, but he is someone that can potentially give you so much impact going forward.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, comparisons are easy just to understand where they're going to be, and that's why we say Florian Wirtz, but for everything you just said, that's why he's not that direct replacement. And I think that's a good thing, because he can play in so many different places. And wherever he's had to play, he's produced goals. And that's what made him so special. It's the production of those goals and scoring in the big moments. So I think that it's a move that's going to make us want to tune in to watch Leverkusen and to see how he's able to progress. But it's definitely not an easy move. He didn't choose the simple one ahead of a World Cup year. So that makes it more exciting.
And there's a lot of depth. Bayer Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso, one of their strengths was having a lot of those numbers, and sometimes you didn't know who was starting. Eventually, I mean, I think you do have your stalwarts in that Xabi Alonso era, but he was free to rotate because a lot of the bench guys
sometimes too
were
much
good, right?
in the finals.
Martin Terrier, sometimes too much in the finals, right? And experimenting, but there was a lot of depth, and it feels like if Malik Tillman doesn't make an impact, and this is what I like for him, because you need to be sharp. At PSV, he knows he was starting every single match day. And I don't know if it's that guaranteed despite the price tag. I think it's more guaranteed than not. But the moment you drop off a little bit, there's a lot of guys nipping at your heels that are going to want to take that starting position away from you.
I think he's very much ready for this because of the sample size we saw in the Gold Cup. And his ability to not play down to the competition and his body, the change in body language from Malik Tillman, and just those 3 clips, it's a different Malik Tillman that we've seen. I got to interview his previous manager, Peter Bosz, this past season in the run-in to the Eredivisie title, and asked him who is the most different and just changed player in the last 2 seasons that you've had. He said Malik Tillman.
Wow.
He said the one thing he's been working on him is between the ears and getting that mental edge that the game comes naturally to him. He's got a feel for football. You saw it in the touch that he has here. And in my opinion, I think a lot of us envision Gio Reyna being the player that Malik Tillman is becoming. Right?
Yeah.
And he will be.
Great point.
Yeah, he is that guy. And Bosz said every single day in training, it was sitting him down and almost having that hairdryer Mbappe moment that Luis Enrique tried to have with Kylian Mbappe,
right.
And it finally clicked.
Well,
Erik ten Hag has a gem of a talent in his hands with Malik Tillman.
I love that point that you raised, and I think we did need to touch that subject because for so long, Gio Reyna wasn't getting the minutes, but we were saying, well, there's no one that really has that creativity on the U.S. men's national team that will sit him down or will have Pochettino, whoever the manager is, to not consider him, right? Because he was that good. But after now 2 seasons of next to nothing of contribution for Gio Reyna, Malik Tillman has grown and evolved. And you're saying, all right, we almost forgot about Gio Reyna. It was unbelievable, like in that Nations League with BJ Callahan, how obsessed we were with Gio Reyna, because the moment he stepped onto the field, he gave you that quality, and it's been trending downwards. And this Gold Cup has really, at least in the eyes of the U.S. men's national team fans and media, I think we're all on board the Malik Tillman train going into the 2026 World Cup, and I couldn't think of a more ideal situation for a guy like this, and I hope he delivers. I have faith that he will deliver and live up to the price tag, because it is a hefty price tag, like you say, Marco.
It's also a good career path from Rangers to PSV to Leverkusen. I think that there's steps in the right direction, and he showed through those experiences that he can adapt wherever he's able to play. So it's for sure an exciting move, and it's a good one that we have some competition back with men's national team players.
And if it goes well for Tillman, perhaps he follows in the footsteps of the players he's replacing, like Kai Havertz, Florian Wirtz, Premier League. Who knows? It is a lot of pressure, though. That's the word I keep coming back to. There's pressure in the price tag. There's pressure with the World Cup. There's a lot of pressure from Malik Tillman. It is a good thing. We'll see how he handles it. Here's a look at some of the other Americans abroad who could be making moves. Damian Downs to Southampton, Patrick Ajimang to Derby County, and these are official. Important note there. And then Richie Ledesma to Chivas Guadalajara from PSV. So one of Malik Tillman's teammates also on the move.